for investing your time with us for our Maverick Alumni panel today. This session will be recorded and available on the College of Business website later this week. My name is Lorraine Raymundo, and I am a current student at the University of Texas here at the College of Business. And today we have an amazing panel discussing lesson learned and alumni perspective. And so we have three great alumni here with us today. We have Shelly Lomeli, who is an item analyst at Lockheed Martin, Chinmayi, who is an analytics engineer at Spanx, and then we have Edwin Johnson, who is an international tax associate at Baker Tilly. Our goal today is that you will come out and come away with an innovative idea, a fresh perspective, or a new strategy that you can apply to be more successful in your business and career search. So the format for tonight's event will begin with a few questions that I will ask the panelists to spotlight some high-level themes and ideas that we should be thinking about. And then we will open it up for questions that you can submit using the chat feature or by raising your hand. And if we run out of time today, please be assured that we will post the answers to your submitted questions via chat after the conclusion of tonight's event. Sounds good? All right, and so I think when I'm going to ask the questions, I don't know what kind of format we want to go by, but if you guys can just start off and then we will see how that goes. So my first question is, so I've introduced you three, and you guys are proud alumni of the College of Business, but can you just give us more about what is your current position and how did UTA College of Business prepare you for your career?
I can go first, I guess. So my current position is I'm an item analyst. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, awesome. So I work for the sustainment side for the F-35 program. And the way the UTA College of Business prepared me for this career, I mean, it didn't only prepare me like professionally, it also prepare me like personally, right? Like sometimes like we have to go on meetings, like like sometimes we have to do lunch with like executives or like some people that I'm not supposed to say, but because it's like confidentiality purposes. But I learned so many things from the College of Business, like how to eat properly, how to communicate with others properly, depending on their level. It also prepared me with like personally as a person, like before I started UTA, it was like, okay, yeah, I know I want to work, I know I want to be successful, but that was it, right? I started UTA and I was like, I started meeting a lot of people and I was like, oh, all this diversity. I was like, that's awesome. I want to go places. I want to have money so I can go over there and I can visit. Oh my gosh, like this is so interesting, right? So I was like, okay, what do I want to do? What's the next step? And like as you start your career and you start taking different classes, you start meeting different people, different students, right? And then you get all this information and then your professors are always like they're your professors, but they're like your advisors as well. Cuz like whatever they're teaching you, it's not just for a grade. They're giving you experience. They're giving you the tools that you need to be successful. And I see that now. After I graduated and now that I'm in my professional career, I go back and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I hated doing presentations so much, but look at me, right? I'm doing amazing." So, I'm some things that when you're a student you don't see and you hate, right? Oh, the homework, the presenting, the teamwork and everything, you're like, oh my gosh, this again. But then when you're out and you finish and you're working on your professional career, it's like, oh, it makes sense. I know why they were saying, oh, you do this, you do that, and then it all clicks, it all makes sense.
Might Edwin have anything to add to that about your current introducing yourself, current position, and how did UTA College of Business prepare you for your current career?
Sure, absolutely. Am I audible clearly?
Um, just lightly. I can hear you, but you might want to kind of speak up or get closer if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my current position is analytics engineer at Spanx, where I work in the business intelligence team to help the organization to you know build the decisions, some of the decisions that are built through data. So I help them build reports, dashboards using various tools, and so all the C-level executives look at the reports and dashboards and make business decisions, which is really kind of exciting for me. Um, so I firmly believe that UTA has given me the training, the confidence required to be in this field, and I completely agree with Shelly. Like not only the training in terms of your curriculum or your skill set, but also what kind of soft skills that are required in terms of giving presentations, talking to diverse people, and sharing your thoughts, connecting with them, networking, because I think the networking events that are there at our college are immensely useful. And I highly encourage students to go to those events. Initially would be really kind of hesitant to talk to people, but eventually you would really it would really help you to build your thought process, to build your vision, where you want to take your career, looking at them being successful in their career pathways. It will help you to build up a career pathway for yourself, and I truly believe that UTA has really helped me build my career pathway as well.
It's good to hear. Thanks for sharing.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn. So my name is Edwin Johnson. I'm currently a international tax associate at Baker Tilly, and not too much else to say of what they said, but I will say that UTA definitely helped me when it came to just becoming more of a likable person. Basically, companies they can hire people to do the job and get the work done, but they want to be able to like you while they're doing that work. So at UTA, I was able to interact with a lot of different individuals through different organizations, such as Culture Leadership Academy or Beta Gamma Sigma, and just to basically network with them and get to know these different type of personalities. So when you do go into the workforce, you've worked with someone like that before, you know how to work with those different personalities, attitudes, just to make sure that you're successful as a team. And just with that experience, we've been able to just work well as a team and just be likable. And I've noticed that during my time outside of school, that a big part of work is your team and liking them. At the end of the day, you're going to see them probably as much as you do your family. So you want to be able to be sure that you like them and they like you too. That's all I have to add.
Very good points, all three of you. Thank you so much for sharing that and hearing about your great experience at UTA. And kind of backing off of that is now that we've kind of learned about you and what you do currently, is that can you talk? I know three of you have recently graduated from UTA, and so can you share with us what your major was and maybe anything you were involved in, and what kind of skills and knowledge you learned from the program that you were enrolled in, and what you found most useful in your career now. And Shelly, if you want to go first, I like that. I like the order we went to. If that's okay with you
Okay,
guys.
yeah, yes, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, sounds good. So I graduated with my undergrad at UTA, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love UTA. So I was like, okay, let me do my MBA there, and which I did. I ended up graduating last year with my master's in business administration. I did not choose a specification just because I like everything. I'm a very curious person, so I was like, let's see what I can get into this semester. So that's also something that I enjoyed about UTA. All the different classes that you can get yourself into, like all the things that you're able to learn there, right? So that was one of the things. And then some skills and knowledge that I learned. I want to see like the number one thing was communication, being able to, okay, speaking is one thing, but being able to communicate and like pass that message to let people understand what you're trying to say, it's really hard. Okay. So what do? Oh, guess what? You're having a presentation. You're like, oh man. But then, you're training yourself. You're presenting. They're making you present, which we don't like. I didn't like to do that. But guess what? Guess what? Now that I'm working and I have to brief executives, I have to brief my team, and we do this on a daily basis, right? So they're preparing you for success. They're preparing you, okay, yes, I don't have a professional experience, but guess what? This role requires for you to know how to communicate, how to brief to executives, how to pass a message on to other people and for them to understand you. I have that, and I can get better at that. So that's another thing, right? So they challenge me a lot, and they challenge us every day. They want to make the best of students. They're preparing us for success. So that was one of the skills that I was like, that I something that you hate is something that's setting you up for success, right? I hated presentations, but it made me be better at presenting myself, using my hands, using my gesture, right? Getting the people engaged in the presentation, because you don't want them to just listen, but understand what you're saying to get your point across. Another thing that I want to say that I learned heavily during my undergrad and my master's degree is teamwork. Um, there was a lot of group projects that I had to do during my undergrad and my graduate degree, which sometimes I was excited about, sometimes not so much, because it's like, okay, you have to learn how to manage your time so you can get together with other people and you have to work make your schedule work so it can work on their schedule. And it teaches you management. It teaches you how to communicate with others and how to understand them a lot better. So I want to say those are the two skills that I 100% I got from UTA. And I want to say that communications like at the top of the list, skills for like the companies are looking for. They want someone that's gonna, hey, do this, do that, and then someone that's willing to take on that responsibility.
I completely agree. As a student at UTA, I think they really hone on to working in groups and then
Yes.
also presenting. So getting out of your bubble and learning how
Yes,
to communicate is very important.
for sure.
Thank you,
Getting out of
Shelly.
your comfort zone is
Yeah.
the only way to grow.
Yes.
Yes.
Chinmayi?
Yeah. I think for me, I kind of got a good balance of both technical as well as soft skills that were needed for me to, you know, get my first job after my graduation. Um, in terms of technical terms, I would say different languages like Python, SQL, and what kind of projects that I did really helped me to understand the application of the skills that I learned. um, Another thing I would really like to mention is you know the flexibility the professors give you to choose your own project idea, or what kind of domain you want to do with the projects, and really helps you to get into depth of that particular domain. So for example, I was really interested in supply chain, so I chose my projects in supply chain domain so that it would help me to grow in that particular career domain. So that really helped me. And as Shelly mentioned, that it also gave me more soft skills such as presentations, speaking in front of 100 students, and that initially I was also petrified and feared. I was fearful to even utter a word, but later on I kind of later on actually another thing what really helped me was I was a teaching assistant for about a year. So I used to give tutoring sessions with students, interacting with them, solving their problems. So that really also helped me to connect with different people and understand their problems as well, and to solve them. So I think this experience was truly valuable for me.
Thank you, Chinmayi. Did you mention what your major was? I'm sorry if I missed
Yeah,
it.
sorry, I missed that. My major was my master's. I did master's in information systems with a certificate in business analytics.
Amazing. Great. Well, thank you for sharing that, Edwin.
Okay, so I'll take it from a different perspective. I was an accounting degree major, did my bachelor's and graduated in 2021, and then finished my master's up in 2022. So basically, everything that they mentioned about the soft skills and communication, true. Like UTA really prepared us for that whenever we come to the workforce. So I want to hone in more on like the technical stuff that has helped me throughout my career in accounting. Um, Basically, just knowing the basics will really carry you a lot in your job, especially as you start out at an entry level role. When you first start out, you're going to be needing to learn the software. So just having that foundation in the basics of accounting really helps you to basically set yourself apart from the other individuals starting with you. And it just helps you to learn faster because starting out in accounting, there's going to be a huge learning curve and you can't get discouraged by it. It takes time to basically just learn the processes and just basically know the day to day and become comfortable with that. Um, and as you do get more comfortable in your role, you will be able to start adding more value to the team. And another way that UTA prepared me for that was through the research class that I took in my master's program. Um, a lot of times, your upper level management will need help with items on like researching different positions to take on any type of transaction or stuff that comes up. And with the ability to research, you're able to add that value, save them some time. Basically, when you start out at the lower level, you want to try to help the people above you any way possible to to show them that their time is valuable and that you can help in any way possible. And then just honing in on the communication that they mentioned, one that really stands out for me is like emails. So like BCom, we learned like how we should do our emails, how they shouldn't be too long. You want to get straight to the point. So a big thing to focus on there is just make sure you know how to send a proper email with good subject line and just not too many words. But that's all I wanted to say.
Well, thanks for those specifics, Edwin. And it's really great to hear that from you. So it looks like we have a diverse group. We have all majors, and so it's really great to kind of get different perspectives because I know we have students on here who are all majoring in different things. So I'm sure that they're it's great to see the outlook from you guys who graduated all with your master's degree, and then Edwin and Shelly who did their undergrad at UTA. So it's really good to hear that. So we talked about your time at UTA and what you majored in, and then we also talked about where you are now. Can you share with us about what that experience was trying to get the job, your first job out of college, and how UTA might have helped aid you through that process of getting your first job?
So this is really funny because I wanted to work for Lockheed, and I had been trying to get into Lockheed my last year of my master's, which was last year. Was last year 2022. So that was so like I had been trying since like April. I was like, okay, I'm a mom. I have three little ones. I'm still trying to get my master's. My grades were really, really good. I was like, I don't want to drop my GPA. I'm about to be done. I need to, okay, because I always plan. I don't know if it's like a mom thing, but like I like to plan in advance. I was like, okay, um, where do I want to go? Where do I see myself? And which company can give me that? Right. So I was like, okay, I had like my three options and I was like, oh, you know, Lockheed Martin. I think 100% I want to work there. Why? Flexibility. Um, they work 4 days a week, which is really, really cool. So I was like, I get Friday for myself. My kids go to daycare, my kids go to school. I get to do my homework and I get to volunteer at school. Because I also did a lot of volunteering work. I was in the what is it called? Society of Human Resource Organization, and we did a lot of volunteering work. And I love volunteering work. So I wanted to work for a company that could provide me that flexibility of me being able to focus on myself, take care of my family, and also give me some space to concentrate in some me time and take care of myself, right? Because it's really hard being a student. It's hard as it is, right? being a student, trying to find a job, trying to see where you want to go in your life. It's so hard. So I wanted to work for Lockheed Martin. Okay. I started applying, nothing, nothing, nothing. Thank you for applying. I was like, oh my gosh, this is where I wanted to go. I have to keep trying. So then UTA had, and I can't remember the name of this program. Sorry, my dogs are barking. I can't remember the name, but
CWEP program,
I don't
college work experience program,
college work
CWEP.
experience. I think that's what it was, where you uploaded your resume and then you were able to get an interview on that day. So like you actually like it was an email that was sent out to students and you got to apply for that email, and you got paired with like a manager based on your resume, because you if I remember correctly, you had to upload your resume and they kind of matched your experience based on a role. And I got my interview thanks to UTA. I was like, yes, finally. And guess what? I got the job. I got to work in the company that I wanted to. So pretty much UTA opened those doors for me. It was like, here's your interview, do your magic. So go UTA. That
Well,
was an
that's
amazing
amazing.
experience.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks for sharing. And I'm glad that UTA was able to help you do that. And thank you for sharing about your time at Lockheed and how they're flexible and really good with aligning with your values. So thank you.
That's really great, Shelly. So for me, my experience was really great with the professors at the College of Business. They really helped me to understand, what the employer market is looking like, and what is your, goal to in so I always wanted to build my career in analytics. So my focus was, where do I which role should I take up, or because I already had some years of experience as a analyst in analytics. So I really wanted to understand like what employers are thinking of, about about the candidates. So the professors really helped me to understand what kind of skill set should I build, what kind of project should I take, am I lacking behind in my skill set, and they really gave me a good understanding of everything. And apart from that, the professional careers academy really helped me to, uh, kind of build my soft skills. Also, the career fairs helped me to connect with the employers, to understand what are they looking for and everything. So I think these resources that are available at UTA, they're kind of like a treasure that every student should utilize. And it really help each and every person to build their career.
Well, thanks, Chinmayi, for kind of adding on. So it seems like there's a lot of resources that are given to students, and I'm glad that you guys are mentioning that, so that maybe the students who are on the chat right now don't know about it, that we could utilize that in the future. So thank you both.
Yeah, so I'll build off a little more on basically the resources that COVID does offer. So really big for accounting majors is Accounting Society and Beta Alpha Psi. So my first internship that I got, I met the company at Firm Night. So through Accounting Society, I went to the Firm Night boot camp to basically get prepared for Firm Night and know what to expect. So when Firm Night did come, I was comfortable talking with all the companies and basically getting to know them to see which one I would fit in the best. So I met with them there, and then they exchanged cards and basically encouraged us to apply on Handshake, which is basically UTA's employer portal where you can put your resume and basically look through different internships that are offered. So I applied on Handshake, and then probably a few weeks later, they had on-campus interviews. So they came to campus, we interviewed there, and then I got the internship. But from that internship, I decided I wanted to pivot roles, and then it's actually through a connection that I met at that internship that I have my current role. So one thing to focus on there is just don't be so tunnel visioned on like one goal that you have or one career that you want to basically pursue. Always be open to different opportunities as they arise. Just because I definitely saw myself at that company for a while, but as things started to change, as I started to grow, I'd graduated, I was in my master's program. I was trying to see where I wanted to go. I was starting to study for my CPA. And things started to change, and I thought it was time to make that pivot. And I've been happier ever since taking this new position. It's more flexible. I get to work from home every day. My team is amazing, and it's just been an overall great opportunity. While I'm working, they're giving me time to study for my CPA. So I encourage you all to basically talk with your companies to see if there's any opportunity for you to basically be flexible in obtaining your CPA, because the CPA on top of working is a lot. It's really its own like full-time job. So a lot of these companies are more understanding than you might think. So just basically reach out to them and see if you can get any help. But yeah, UTA, join Accounting Society. They offer food. I know a lot on Fridays. That's always nice. But yeah, they definitely get you prepared, introduce you to a lot of companies, and yeah, just exposure is key in getting to know these companies.
What a great plug for Accounting Society. They should pay you for that. But thank you, Edwin, for sharing that and kind of talking about communicating, which I think that's something. Is there something in the chat? There's something in common that you guys have shared is kind of like understanding what your values are and kind of bringing that to the workforce and communicating that with the employers so that you can be the best employee that you can be. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. I'm going to go down the questions. I think some of these have been kind of answered. So I'm going to combine the two, and then if you need to add on something that you haven't already mentioned, please do so. So our next question is, did you know what you wanted to study or focus on academically? And did your curriculum prepare you for your next or first, current, or next job? And then I'll get on to the question in the chat afterwards. So again, did you know what you wanted to focus or study on academically when you were an undergrad or your master's? And then how did that specific curriculum prepare you? I know you've already mentioned some of it, Shelly, but if there's anything else you might want to add to that.
So when I first applied to UTA, I wasn't completely sure. This is like when I applied for my undergrad, like I wasn't completely sure what I wanted to do. So I first applied for social work, and I was like, do I really want to do this? And I was like, okay, let me search to see what else they have. What do I like? Because like me, I like helping people. So I was like, okay, do I see myself being a social work for the rest of my life? I was like, no, I don't think so. So what I like about UTA is that they offer, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they offer like over 180 degree programs around there. I mean, so there's a lot of um different programs that you can get yourself into, right? So I was like, okay, I'm pretty good in business. Most of my family have businesses. So let me apply to the College of Business. And that's kind of how I ended up in the College of Business. And I think that was the best decision that I've ever made. There a lot of colleges here in Texas that you can go, but honestly, UTA for me, the commitment of going there, they offer online classes as well as on campus. It's cost effective. It's a little bit more affordable for some students. And you're not paying a lot of money for your classes, and you're getting a lot of value, which is really, it was really important for me. So no, I didn't know what I wanted to study, but I knew I wanted to go to UTA, especially because of the diversity that UTA offers. You go to campus and you feel like home, and because you see a variety of people. It's not just one race. It's like all kinds of people, right? From all over the world. I'm big in culture. So you're going to UTA not only to prepare yourself for your career, for your professional career, but also for your personal career. You get to meet a lot of people, you get to network, you get to learn different languages, different cultures, which is it's like a BOGO, right? You're paying for your career, but you're learning culture at the same time, right? So that's kind of what drew me to UTA.
I love the BOGO aspect. I think we should look at that.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Shelly, for sharing.
I think for me, I always knew I wanted to do something in analytics, but before coming to UTA, I talked to many of the alumni that were there, and they really helped me to understand why UTA is different from other universities because the professors over here really care for you, give you that kind of attention that is required, and also you get really great opportunities after graduating. So that was the most important thing that really helped me to choose UTA. And that's why like I wanted to do something in analytics, but I was not sure whether to do my masters in business analytics or to do information systems. So this was a really great chance for me to do certification in business analytics, although take my master's in information systems, which gave me curriculum such as project management and analysis and design, which I think the students who are at this panel will understand why this is important to get into depth into system analysis and all those aspects. So this kind of flexibility really helped me to choose my own programs, what I really wanted to do, and kind of build my career. So I think this was really great that UTA provided, hence I chose UTA. Apart from that, uh, to help so I mentioned earlier that the kind of technical skill set that I got here, such as Python, analytics, web and social analytics, data mining, data science. It's a really great course that students should take, I believe. So the projects that I did in these courses really helped me to you know um, practically apply my skills. So I think all these aspects, in a cumulative manner, uh, really builds your career, and UTA helped in that.
That's great to hear. And I'm glad that you mentioned that you did your certificate in business analytics, because I think that's something that's being pushed and now is available for undergraduates. And so it seems like it was very effective for you. So I'm glad that you really got a lot out of it. So thank you for sharing that.
Okay, so coming to UTA, I definitely knew I wanted to pursue accounting. One of the main reasons I did come to UTA was just because of the fast track program we had, to where you could get your master's in 5 years. But what route I wanted to take in accounting, I didn't know per se. I didn't know that eventually I wanted to start like studying for my CPA as I am now and trying to obtain it. But just with the many different routes and opportunities you do have in accounting, I really didn't know which way to go. I didn't have any family or friends who were in the profession to basically guide me or whatnot. So coming to UTA really helped me to be able to talk with different professionals and individuals in COBA who did have some professional experience and just some knowledge to basically give me to guide me on my journey. So whenever you do come to like internship time when you have to choose between tax and audit, it's definitely hard to choose. I made my choice based off of how I saw my daily life going per se. I wasn't too keen on the sporadicness of audit, of like, how do I explain this? I don't know. I liked having a set duty to do every day. I don't like too much change, so that's why I chose tax. But going into federal tax, I realized that it wasn't exactly what I wanted either. But the good thing is there are just, as I mentioned, so many opportunities to pursue. And that's how I ended up in my international tax role. It still adds in the factor of tax, which gives you like basically the right answer per se. but he also added in different factors of like consulting and basically client facing. But I will say, just keep your mind open to different opportunities as they arise. Um, yeah, that's all I got.
Thanks for sharing that. And I like the idea of you saying kind of like learning more about yourself and what you work with and then letting those be important in your decision making based on your career. So I'm going to kind of veer off of the questionnaires that we have and kind of answer or ask the question in the chat. So Eric asked, besides being a UTA alumni, are you a member of any professional organizations in the DFW area?
Um, so I can answer that. I guess like another thing that UTA kind of taught me and exposed me to was, hey, be a member of this, be a member of that student organization, right? I was used to doing volunteering work. I was used to having all these organizations around me that I could just go and join for free and learn and network, right? So like I might work, I already joined, we have a leadership called LMLA. I've done a lot of volunteering work. I've met so many people, which has opened me a lot of doors. I'm getting known. So like I joined Lockheed Martin without knowing anyone. UTA helped me to get that interview. I'm there. I don't know anybody. A way to network is to join organizations, join clubs, right? And this is something that I learned from UTA. And 100%, like if you guys ever decide to start, if you already are, or if you decide to start your professional career, always volunteer. Always be the first one to volunteer, even if you're scared. Do it scared, because it's just gonna push you to for growth, to become better, and for people to notice you. That is something that my manager always tells me, like, oh my gosh, Shelly, like I'm never worried about no having someone to do this extra work, because I know if no one volunteers, you're going to take it. I'm like, oh yes, I got you. That's my motto, that's my saying, I got you, so I'm this way because me, I've always been like this, but UTA kind of gave me those tools of like, expose yourself. If you're scared, if there's fear, do it scared, but go ahead and do it. And for sure, 100%, do join any organizations at UTA or outside of UTA.
What a great positive outlook. Thank you, Shelly. Is there anything to add from Chinmayi or Edwin?
I can add some.
Yeah.
So, just being a new grad, I haven't had too much time to join any professional organizations, but I do plan to join the AICPA once I do get my license and have time to do so. But I do want to highlight on just different groups and organizations within your firm that you should kind of look into when it comes to joining professional groups. I know at my firm we have a variety of groups that you can join, basically highlighting your different interests or just your identity. I know there's some based off of demographics, such as there's a Latinx group, a Black group, LGBTQ that you could join if you wanted to, and then just some where you can partake in like growing the firm, um, basically anything you can think of. So don't limit yourself in things you want to join. There can be professional things you want to join and partake in, but also give yourself time to enjoy those social aspects of just partaking in things that you do when you relax and getting to know your fellow teammates and people that work at your firm.
I like that. And I think maybe not a lot of people realize that there's groups within the firms. I think that would be a great way to also learn and know about the people that you work with and learn more about the company. So that's great advice. Thanks, Edwin. Anything to add, Chinmayi?
Um, Even I didn't get a lot of time to join during my master's because it's just a 2 year program and there are many things to do in those 2 years, projects, internships and all those things. uh, I think at the end of my master's I got the chance to join the Beta Gamma Sigma firm. And yeah, and this was really great for me to meet different people, new set of people that I haven't met in my 2 years of masters. So that was really interesting. I would highly recommend that. And also, I think there are many student organizations, as Edwin and Shelly mentioned. I think there is one more, that is AITP, that is there in our college. I think that is also a great program which, helps you to connect with the employers. They have sessions with many big companies, and many executives come to talk to you about those companies. So that is also really helpful.
Let's see. I'm gonna ask another question and then we'll go back to the question in the chat, just for time wise. And I really want you guys to answer this question because I want to hear what you guys have to say, which is, what is one piece of advice you can give to our next generation, or our undergrads who are here right now at school? Is there any advice that you would like to give them?
I would say number one thing is, if you're able to do internships, do them, because that's the way for you to get experience, add that onto your resume. You're able to get to know the company, the position, and you're able to decide, is this what I want to do? Right? It's not like, and the good thing about it is, like, it's a class, plus you're getting paid, plus you're getting experience, right? So that's one of the things that I regret that I didn't have the chance to do. And then the other one, which is a golden one, and I live by this one, is the one that I said, even if you're scared, just do it, and do it scared, because you don't know what you're capable of until you do it. And in a lot of things, we hold ourselves back because we're scared. Just do it, and then you'll see, you'll get places. I got promoted in my first year, so you'll go places.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Shelly. So I think my big advice would be to network as much as you can. Connect with connect with all streams of people. You never know who would help you in your career growth. Um, don't treat each and every application effectively, because you never know which of your application will land you the job that you wanted. I remember when I applied, I merely applied through LinkedIn, Easy Apply, and that was really, when I tell different people, they are, oh my God, how did you get a job through Easy Apply? Because people generally think that, oh, they don't even see those applications. But um, it in my case, it really worked. And treat each and every job opportunity. Give your 100% to each and every application. Do as many projects as you can in your curriculum. Apart from that are there, build your individual projects. I'm talking about more technical, in technical perspective. um, Build as many as skill set as you can, because these 2 years are never gonna come back. And when you get your job, you're really focused on your work profile itself, and it's really difficult to take out time and learn more skill set. This is your time. Make the most of the time that you have, and grab each and every opportunity that comes along to you. So I think this is what I would advise our students.
Great advice. Thank you, Chinmayi.
I'll start off with saying I think it's important in college to find your group of people. Some of my best friends are the people I've met in college, and I will say going through college and life after college, you need that group of people to lean on for support because it's not easy navigating life or navigating college. but always having that support group behind you just to push you or to guide you whenever you may go off track is very important. And another thing I want to add is don't try to take life too seriously. I know me, freshman year, I was stressing over like history class. There's no reason I should have been stressing that much over that class. It's important to work hard, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, you don't want to overwork yourself and get burnt out before you even get to the workforce. So just take time to yourself sometimes. Not saying not to work hard, people. That's not what I'm saying. But just make sure that at the end of the day, you're living to live and not just living to work.
Living to live, not just living to work. I like that. Thanks, Edwin. All right, I think that now I'm just going to open it up for a Q&A. So I'm just going to go down the chat, or if somebody wants to raise your hand, because we have 15 minutes left. So we're just going to answer some questions. This one's fun. Do you have any advice you wanted to share on keeping your day productive and focused? Also, do you have any good morning routines to start your day?
I can start. I think it's important to know whenever you're most effective. I know for me, I'm most productive like early in the mornings. So when it comes to work, I try to set off that time for this busy time to get work done that I need to get done before I schedule any meetings and whatnot. Um, Whenever it comes to good morning routines, um, just be proactive and try to stay on a schedule. Consistency is key when it comes to things like that. That's all I have to offer there.
So I'm not really a morning person. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But so something that I started doing, and this has helped me so much with like managing my time and making sure that I arrive early to work and not to stress, sorry, excuse me, not to stress with traffic when I'm driving, when I have to go into the office, because I do have to go in twice a week, and traffic sometimes is horrible. So one thing is set up your alarm. Like me, I have to wake up at 5, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set it up at 4:30 instead of like, clicking that snooze button. I just get up, listen to the alarm, and like, don't think about it. Just get up and do it. And I promise you, you you're gonna like hear the alarm, and then you're gonna wake up without like struggling. So another thing that I started doing on my way to work, sometimes there are accidents, there's a lot of traffic, and like before I started to get frustrated, what I do now is I started listening to TED Talks. It has helped me with my mind to be relaxed, to enjoy my drive to work, and I get to work happy. I don't get to work stressed how I used to get, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm late. I have so many things to do. I have to go over 500 emails. No, like I was like, okay, I cannot control traffic in the morning. But I can control myself. What can I do to help me get to work not stressed? So then I started playing TED Talks instead of listening to music. So like, to me, it has helped me so much. I think one thing that we have to take care of, and a lot of people don't talk about this, is our mind. We have to make sure that yes, we're taking care of others, and we're taking care of our career, and we're taking that next step to our goal. But let's make sure that we take care of ourselves, and that we take care of our minds, of our um how would you say that word? I guess just yourself. Just take care of yourself, because if you're not okay, then you're not going to be successful.
Totally agree. Great advice. Thanks, Shelly.
Yeah, I agree. So another thing I started to to do after I got my job is, to get up and to spend some time with myself. So I started to meditate. So, like I started with just 10-15 minutes, and then I have extended it to up to 30 minutes now. But really, that time really helps me to, calm myself down, focus on my, thought processes, and, to just, uh, even if you just, listen to your, breaths, I think that really also helps to, be, really calm. And another thing is, I have started to go for a run every alternate days. And that also really helped me to just get that energy in the morning, because even I'm not a morning person. So to get to those meetings, you got to have that energy, right? So I think that also have started, which I couldn't do during my masters. So I think this really helps, guys.
How fun. Thanks for sharing that with us. I know we have a hand raised. Janal, do you want to ask your question just via microphone if you want to, or do you want me to read your chat? Okay. So the chat says, what strategies would you suggest using while applying for internships or jobs? Or applying.
Hi, am I audible?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. You can ask
Yeah,
your question. Sorry.
of course. No, no worries. No. Well, thank you so much for organizing this event. Firstly, and I would like to go ahead and introduce myself. So I'm a graduate student pursuing masters in business analytics right now, and I'll soon be graduating in August. So here's my question for the panelists. Oh well, thank you. um, my question is like, as someone who is actively looking for internships right now, what else strategies would you suggest using, which helped you guys find an internship? Like, because, there are so many job boards out there which you can use, and it just gets confusing sometimes. It's just a tedious task sometimes. When you keep on applying and you get rejections and with the current job market. So, any tips would be great. Thank you.
So one thing that I would recommend, right, is doing your research. It's not only the company interviewing you, but you also have to interview the company. It's like, do their values align with mine? Because if you're just applying for an internship and applying for a company just to do an internship, you're not going to be happy. You have to find a company and an internship um that you're going to enjoy, and that you're going to wake up and be like, oh yes, I got to go to work, or I got to do this. So number one would be, do your research, network. If you have LinkedIn, look up the company, look at the history, look at people that work there and send them a message. Sometimes they may not respond. Some of them will. Usually 90% of the people, they will respond to you, and they will share their experiences with you. And then another thing that you can also do is like kind of make a list of like your options, and then just have like your number three options, and focus on them, and just be persistent, and you'll get there.
That's
Another
a
thing
great
I would
tip.
like
Thank
to
you.
add,
Sorry.
yeah, another thing I would like to add over here is, you know, build your LinkedIn profile really well, because the recruiters, the managers are gonna look at that. Build your resume really well. Take the help of our, career development center that really, guides you to build your resume, what kind of keywords you need in your resume, and what kind of roles that you're looking for. So they would help you to align your keywords according to the role. So, and that is really important. And I think, um, like, you have to apply, like, stop looking at the quantity of applications that you did, look at the quality, focus on the quality more. Apply to those that you feel that you would be best candidate for that particular role. um, and take help from as many resources as you can from UTA, because they are for you. And I think these kind of strategies really helped me, so I believe they will help you too.
Yeah, not much to add, but I agree with what they said. I feel like it's most important to be effective rather than just trying to apply to every single internship that you see. And when it comes to that, I would say definitely getting some interview practice, whether that's practicing with your friend, researching questions that they've asked in the past to future to past applicants. Basically, just having any type of knowledge you can before going into the internship into the interview will basically help ease some stress you may have going into it. I know the Career Development Center does offer mock interviews for you to do. Those definitely helped me when it came to doing interviews. And then even if it is just doing it one on one by yourself, anything will help.
So quality over quantity, and using your resources is what I got from that. Very great advice. Thank you guys. To our participants in the chat, we have about 4 minutes left. Is there any last questions that anyone would like to ask before we close it off? Or is there anything that you guys, the panelists, want to add on? Last added comments that might have came up? No? All right then. Well, I want to thank this time to thank everyone for attending tonight's panel. I personally had a great time talking to all three of you. So thank you for the insights and sharing your valuable insights for us. So any unanswered questions will be addressed in the chat, which you will have access to after the close of this panel. So I hope everyone has a great week, and everyone is saying thank you to all of you in the chat if you can't see it. But yeah, so thank you so much for coming and speak with us for Business Week, and hopefully you guys can keep in touch
Thank
with the
you.
College of Business.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you.